All right, looks like we're about done with the downloads. So for lesson 11, we're just going to go over securing workbooks, tracking changes, adding comments, and inspecting. So it should go fairly quick. We're going to open up 11 Contoso employees. That's the file. Make sure we enable editing once it's open. Okay, let's go cell G4. What type of formula is in there at the moment? What type of formula is in G4? Yes, if statement. Let's go to G5, or I'm sorry, H4. And we're going to click the function button. The category will be math and trig. That'll help us out a little bit. And we're looking for R and between. So we see there, it returns a random number between the numbers that we specify. So I hit OK. Let's have the bottom be 10,000. So 10,000. And the top be 99,999. And we're going to fill handle that all the way down to the last row of text. Just a bunch of random numbers. Now, to protect our worksheet, let's go to the Review tab on the ribbon. And it might already be protected, so if we click Protect Workbook there, our password is capital L 11 exclamation point lowercase e 01. I hit OK. Apparently I typed it wrong. Did you guys' work? Well, that's exactly what the book says the password is. Thank you. Well, if we were to have our own document and protect it first, you would click that and type whatever password in you wanted, and then after that, it would be protected. Let's open a different file. Let's go to Contoso Assignments. enable editing. Go to review tab after we have gotten it open. So I'm going to click Protect Workbook. And let's just make our password Dukes, all lowercase. Doesn't have to be crazy for this. So we need to confirm it. That's fine. Now, let's go to File, Save As. Just double click this PC. We're not actually going to save it, but we need to know how this works. Down right next to Save is Tools. Click that drop down. We're going to choose General Options. And what this is for someone to even open this, it requires a password, versus what we were doing just protects it for what is already on there. So we could do this again, you know, we could have Dukes here. If they even want to modify it, we could have a different password to be able to modify it. There's a checkbox there to have them always create a backup so they have the original file, and then after they open it with the password, it makes a different file. And then what that checkbox for read-only recommended is, read-only is what we open all our documents in. We have to click Enable Editing. That's what read-only is. So those are some ways we can protect our workbooks. I'm going to hit cancel. I'm not actually going to save or anything for that, but that's how you can require passwords. Click File and go to Info. So on the right side of the info, we see all our properties over there. So what's the size of this workbook right now for you guys? So yours is a little bit bigger. Mine's 9.45. So some other things you can see on there. Who the author was whoever created it. Last modified by, it would show them as well. We see some categories and tags underneath properties. All the way at the bottom, we can click Show All, and it'll have a few more pop up there. Or we can even click Properties at the top right there in Advanced. The reason we can is because I might have to unprotect it here. So I'll put my password back in. So if I click on Advanced Properties, all that opens up is this dialog box that's a little bit more in depth, but it's basically the same as everything we could already see. But what I want you guys to understand what these properties are for. So we have size, title, tags, comments, categories, all of that. Where that is useful is in this Windows Explorer right here. So let me turn this preview mode off. So I have type and size in this folder. I can also add who authors were for files and see that. I can see other tags. So if I add authors, some of them have a student name. This one doesn't have an author. I could add categories, any specific tags that I wanted. So if I wanted the tag to be Infotech 2, well, I mean, that's what we have folders for, but other people do tags for whatever. That's what that is. And you see more, and there's tons of them that you could help organize your documents. That's what these properties are for. All right. Next step. Let's just click Protect Workbook there on the Info tab, and we have a bunch of options there. So if we've clicked File, that's where we need to be. And when we click Protect Workbook, there's some options. So we've already required a password, we've done that, we've protected sheets, we've protected structure. We could restrict access, but let's say we've worked on it enough and we're done. So we can just click Mark as Final. This workbook will mark as final and then saved, and then it also said there that it will be put into read mode. So we have a dialog box that tells us what's going on. This document has been marked at final to indicate that editing is complete, and this is the final version. And you can read the rest there. So I'm gonna hit OK. And now if you were to try to edit, it won't let me. So it has that yellow line across the top, marked as final, and Arthur has marked this as final to discourage you from editing. So you could edit it anyway, but we're not going to. We're going to close that one, close Contoso, don't save. Let's open personnel evaluations. 11 Contoso personnel evaluations. And then go ahead and enable editing when we open it. So this is kind of all about sharing this file with other people and being able to have multiple people edit a document. We are going to go to the Review tab, and something else that we can do is track changes. So what that means is we'll be able to see what other people have done to the document when they edited it. So if we click Track Changes there, click Highlight Changes, a dialog box will pop up. Hit the checkbox and hit OK. If we have to hit OK, that's fine. It's just going to save it. So let's go to cell D4. And let's say Josh Barnhill's knowledge is average. And then do we see, if you press tab or enter to get off that cell, if we hover over it, it has the little box and it says, for me, Levi Loof changed cell D4 from blank to average. That's what track changes will do. So if we were to save this and I were to send it to you, you guys would see what changes I've made. Let's say we bank a bunch more changes, whatever. One thing we can do is delete the changes, obviously. So let's go to File. Down to Options. It's a different step they wanted. I don't know why they had that heading. Stay on the review tab. Hit the drop down for track changes. Go to accept, protect. What? No, I said that wrong. Accept, reject. And we could just, check them all. If I hit where, I don't want that because that'll only be that one cell. So we have to select the whole document. But when and who, we want everyone and when they did it. So I'm hit OK. So any changes that come up would be in this dialog box. And we could accept them or reject them one by one and go through. So this one that we typed in, we're going to actually accept that. Oh, I wanted it to go away. Darn it. Oh well. But we could also reject them there and then they would go away if we didn't like what someone had written. Let's click on where we typed there in D4 and hit new comment. So I click cell D4 and in the ribbon, I'm going to type a comment. And I'm going to say, I think he's smarter than that. And then once I click off that, it saves. So now if I hover over that cell, you can see in the top left corner, there's a black triangle that shows that we are tracked. That's a change to this document. The top right area has a red little triangle, which shows we have a comment. And if I hover over it, it shows me the change and the comment. If I want to edit that comment, just click Edit Comment right there on the ribbon. If I wanted to delete that comment, I could just click Delete, and it's gone, because you just have to be on the cell that the comment was on. Or if you just wanted to scroll through the entire worksheet that has multiple comments, you see next and previous, that would just, work its way through people's comments on the sheet. We can also click Show Hide. So if I just click Show All, we only have one, but it'll pop up that dialog box right next to the cell. Now I'm going to delete it. And we're going to close this.